The Light Beer Project looks at Old Milwaukee Light. I don't have an Old Milwaukee glass, light or regular or ice. So I use a Schaefer beer glass because Schaefer is owned by Pabst and Old Milwaukee is owned by Pabst, so there's a sort of a connection. They're still saying on the website 3.1% alcohol. I'm pretty sure in years past it was rated at 3.9. Someone said he wrote an email. He told me he wrote an email to the website, which is Pabst Consumer Relations, and they said, "Oh, we'll fix it." Well, it hasn't been fixed, and that's a week ago. So it might have really simply been reconfigured to 3.1. They had 12 packs of this at Elio's Wine House for $5.50 a piece. So I bought two 12 packs, 11 bucks plus tax, so not bad. $2.75 for a 6-pack. That's a very low price these days. I remember back in 1996 you could get Falstaff 6-pack excuse me, 6 packs for $1.99 down in the New Orleans area. It's a thick white head, a clear straw appearance. It's bubbly. It looks like any other mass-produced light beer. It has some cream cheese with crackers and some sriracha sauce, however you say it, on there. It wasn't the chili sauce making me choke, it was the little bit of crumbs from the crackers. If you get on the Old Milwaukee website, it's helpful because there's a locator tool, and it was very helpful for me because Old Milwaukee, none of the beers in that line, the original from 1955, the Old Milwaukee Light from 1982, the Ice from 94, or the NA, and I don't know what year they came out, the non-alcoholic, that I'm aware of is sold anymore in this town. The closest is about 17 miles away. But the tool gave me the exact store, and I went in there, and there it was. When this beer first arrived on the market, it was in a red can, kind of a shield, and it said Old Milwaukee Light. Then it was recolored into the silver and gold. Now the designs have changed over the years. It used to have a design similar to this 1996 Old Milwaukee design, but it was blue and silver instead of red and gold. And you notice light beers are generally, and ice beers too, but light beers are generally presented in a blue and silver format. Miller Lite went back to their original white and gold and blue trim, white with gold and blue trim format in 2014, but it was doing the silver and blue, the blue and silver for a long time. Of course, Coors Light, you have the silver can with the red and black trim, and on occasion you'll see, I have seen Coors Light bottles, the brown bottles, with a black label with silver and red trim, but most are the blue and silver. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this. I'm getting close to the end of the 12 pack. I've been drinking on it off and on for a few weeks, and it really is a remarkable American style light lager, adjunct lager, because it's smooth as can be. It does have some body, which is making me think it really must be higher than 3.1. Although, I guess I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like it might. But I don't feel it really when I'm drinking it. Although if it was 4%, 4.2, I may not feel it. If I drink a Bud Light, you don't feel it. It has a sweet, but not overly sweet, a sweet, enjoyable, standard American beer flavor. Doesn't taste so light. course, the finish is crisp, clean, refreshing, and super drinkable. A lot of people that drink Bud Light or Coors Light or Miller Lite would not drink this because they would consider it a cheap beer. 110 calories, not super light. So they would be willing to pay a whole lot more to get a beer that was no better than this and maybe not as good. And I'm going to tell you why. This beer has won more awards at the Great American Beer Festival and the World Beer Cup than any other beer in its class, American style light beer. 1 bronze, 2 silvers, and 7 gold medals since 1997. For 18 years now, it's been winning medals. So, last one was, I think, 4 years ago. Didn't win these medals for being bad. And Old Milwaukee, the original Old Milwaukee, the more full-bodied beer, has won so many medals as well. But, you know, Pabst is very poor relative to other beer companies. They can't afford any advertising. So you just don't see national advertising. And the beer is, you know, a dying brand. The last time I saw a commercial was during the Super Bowl, 1997 Super Bowl for the 96 season. And they were touting how I didn't won a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival. And so they adopted that tagline, America's Best Tasting Beer, America's Best Tasting Beer, as evidenced by the awards. That must have cost Stroh's Brewing Company a fortune to put that Super Bowl commercial on. I remember they showed this can and they had somebody turning it around with his hand. All that money probably didn't get them 10 new customers in the whole United States. And just over 2 years later, Stroh's was bought out by Pabst. And that was it. May have been the last national advertisement for any Stroh or Pabst beer that I can recall. I'm not talking about YouTube or the internet, I'm talking about television or radio. They did run some local commercials around here for some Pabst brands. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, there was a radio show. It was a talk show in New Orleans. Pretty prominent talk show. And it was sponsored by Colt 45 Malt Liquor. Works every time. That's what they would say. For about a year. Colt 45 Malt Liquor works every time. And the host would crack one open, or, you know, I guess with sound effects, and say, let me crack open a Colt 45. But that was local. You just don't see, you probably won't even see this beer. Maybe in your area. It was an oddity for our area. I've never seen it in our area. It's in Lafayette, 150 miles west of here. Very common in Lafayette, Louisiana, and southwestern Louisiana, but not here. And they told me the distributor just offered them a great deal, so they took them up on it. And that's probably because it was short dated. Because this one is already 2 days out of date. But it's produced by Miller for Pabst, and Miller will tell you that their beers should be good at least a year past the best by date, although they recommend it obviously within the range, but I haven't noticed any deterioration in the flavor. So some people might say, well, who cares if it's won all these awards? That was in the light beer category. Doesn't mean anything. That's an unfair and an incorrect way of looking at it. It does mean something. It means it won a lot of awards within that category. None of these beers in the cream ale, the regular American beer category, malt liquor category, or light beer, none of those have ever won Best in Show. And they're never going to win Best in Show. But you do have to review things within the style and look at them within the style. No one's going to say that a Honda Accord is at the level of a Mercedes-Benz or a Rolls-Royce. But the Honda Accord is a renowned vehicle within its class. Okay, so you have to look at things in the proper perspective. Am I saying people should run out and buy this? No, I'm saying people that enjoy light beer probably should certainly give it a chance. And that's what the whole project is about, the regular beer project, the light beer project, the malt liquor project, what you know about that. All that is about looking at the brands, discussing them, and trying to learn a little bit about them. So thank you for watching this video production.